Hey! Welcome to the Hey Queen After Show, where we play the game that you all love. Look at her! This is where our guests will look at one of their most recent co-stars or someone they've worked with and tell us an interesting tidbit about them. And of course, we have Mr. Daniel Franzese here today. And I'm going to try to get him to spill some tea.
Oh.
All right, so just you get the game and just spill a little tea. And if you don't want to say anything, you can just take a sip of this tea. All right, but I'll try to say things. Look at her.
Oh, Tina.
Oh, Tina.
Tina. I mean, Tina was incredible. She's so humble, and you know, Mean Girls was her first movie.
Right,
so.
when you worked with her, she wasn't the Tina Fey of today. I mean, she was still pretty amazing.
Well, I'll tell you,
but
Tina actually, this is a funny story, but Tina came up to me and we were talking about IMDb. And her IMDb had all these horrible things written about her, which was so ironic because she's so incredible. So I kind of, you know, went on and deleted them all and like helped her out a little bit. And now she's America's sweetheart, so I could tell that story.
Yes, because nobody has anything bad to say about her at all.
Nobody better say nothing bad about Miss Tina.
They better not say nothing about Miss Tina.
No, she's wonderful, and I had a great time working with her. So.
That's fun, and I'm sure you would like to work with her again.
And I would love to work with her again.
And I would too. Look at her.
Amanda, she's great too. I had a great time with her. She was really young when we worked together, 15.
What about that time when she slapped you across the face and said, "Get out of my face, you
No, she's great, and look at what a big star she is.
Right, I guess because all these little babies, these were like little baby starlets
little
at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I was 10 years older than I should have been, and everybody else was a little boo. So.
Like, hey kids, let's get this together. I'm gonna play this real gay, all right?
Hey guys.
I got 2 words of advice to you. Get a car and stay away from Andy Dick.
Look at her.
Oh, Lindsay.
Look at her.
Everybody.
I said, look at her.
I literally wanna like rewind to like the production meeting before this where you're like, throw a bunch of bitches before it and get to Lindsay.
Yes, there's not a production meeting. It's me going in the booth being like, don't move Lindsay to last. Let's hope he says something. Let's hope he says something, Lady Rad. Lady Rad, I need you to say it too. Look at her. Now, Lady Rad, tell you gotta do it. Tell me something interesting or tea-sip worthy about Lindsay Lohan. Did you have a clue that she turned into the hot mess that she is now? You're not calling her hot mess? No, it's just me. What was... That's a yes.
No,
that's a yes.
I'm fine, thanks.
Every time you sip the tea is a yes to one of my questions. What's she doing coke on the set?
No. She was also like 16 or whatever when we worked together.
Was Dina on set?
Yes. The whole family.
Was Dina doing coke on set?
No, she wasn't always there either. Nobody was doing coke on set.
Was she doing Tina because Tina Fey was in charge of it? She was like, I might as well smoke Tina.
No, she, you know, I think that at that time, America was like giving her the open door to everything, you know.
Right, she was the sweetheart at that moment, about to be the sweetheart.
Right, and I don't think that anybody's behavior would be the same. But now, her and I get along wonderfully, and I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think she's, you know.
Do you help her find new apartments because she's keep moving?
You know, that was messed up. She explained that.
This is something I want to hear.
Let me tell you something. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example that has nothing to do with Lindsay, but has everything to do with Lindsay.
Oh, so, okay, this is good. Lady Red, get your decoder ready.
I'm so ready. Here we go.
I got a pair of shoes made, right? And they were Goyard, like a Goyard bag was like ripped up, and 3 people of us got like Goyard Vans, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But the person who took it to the shoemaker to tell them that they were getting done wanted them done that day, so told them that specifically that they were for me and made them like look me up and everything. And so they charged me $200 extra.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what I'm saying? That like when you're like a celebrity or someone knows you, they think you have more money, like they just charge you more. And so Lindsay's apartment and all that shit, when they know it's for her, they're gonna put her through the ringer.
And that's why she's losing money, because they're always charging her extra for the drugs.
No, I just think that it's harder to be her.
Right.
In her sobriety, Lindsay and I went to a concert, and they gave her. She's a famous person in sobriety, and when we got there, they gave for 3 people. They gave her 36 drink tickets.
Ooh, bitch.
So she handed them to me
Ooh,
like,
bitch.
what am I supposed to fucking do with these?
I
Like,
can't even be photographed with. I can't even be photographed with these.
but that's my point. Like, how much harder is it to
Yeah.
be a person in the public eye?
Everybody's
So
on your eyes on
I
her.
do have some sympathy for her because she has made some really positive moves in her life, and she's doing a lot of good things, and I wish her the best.
All right. You know what? You did look at her. You did
I looked at her. I looked at her up and down.
Yes, you did.
I had looked at her from her shoes to her head.
To her hand. You told us about it.
I told you what was happening. I worked as a bouncer and pretty much and a promoter for all different kinds of gay events and gay clubs in New York City.
Now, was that before or after Mean Girls when we met?
Before, like it was after Bully.
Right,
I was the
after
bouncer
Bully.
at the Duplex. I worked at Pop Rocks. I worked at the like the Pyramid, like all those places. But then when I booked Mean Girls, because it was a gay role, all of my agents and everyone were telling me to be quiet.
Right.
And it was like, oh, they're like, well, work against it. You just don't have to say anything. And it became this thing that started feeding into more and more of me going back into the closet, which is why it confused my real friends that knew me for years. But I would lie to casting directors because I was being blocked by what I call a gay glass ceiling. From getting into certain opportunities. So there was like, what I cited in my letter, one of the things I talk about was this specific movie that I wanted to get in on, where one of my best friends who I moved to LA with, who have been frequent collaborators, we've done plays and movies together for years, was playing this blue collar wife. And the husband was supposed to be like a doughy worker, like so who I play historically in my acting, everything. And they wouldn't even let me audition for the part. They were like, oh, yeah, we love Daniel. We think he's hilarious in Mean Girls, but this is a real man's man. And I couldn't even get the opportunity to try.
Right.
So I think it really hurt me for many years, and I kept quiet about my sexuality. And, I was in long-term relationships, so I didn't see a need necessarily to, go out and date or go out to gay clubs.
Right.
So I pretty much stayed away from gay culture for years, and it hurt me because that's part of this is my people.
That's who you are. You're a big, berry, hairy faggot, and God bless you for that. I mean, you were living, though, in the age where Jack from Will and Grace was still trying to pretend he was loving ladies in sexy Doritos commercials.
Well, that's the
same. That bit him in the ass.
But that's the same thing for, a lot of us were feeling that pressure. It was a period of gay exploitation. On one hand, we had these shows like Will and Grace and Queer as Folk and Queer Eye for the Straight Guy that were Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, when that came out, weren't you shocked when you heard the title? I was like, oh my God, they're going to do a show like that?
Getting in the title, Lady Red, that's crazy.
I know.
No, I loved it though.
Yeah, so did I. We all did. But
we were happy to see homosexuals in front of the camera being themselves.
But in the same token, it became a moment of exploitation, which exploitation is the first step to acceptance.
Yeah.
We historically we could see in film through blaxploitation how the black image was exploited for sexuality or fear or whatever, and until it could all of a sudden become Denzel Washington winning an Oscar. It takes time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was a comedian who said that originally when he was auditioning for plays, all the lines were like "Mo biscuits, sir." To the point where he was like, fuck, but there's only so many times you could do that to where you're like, that's an old thing and that's not right anymore.